What up, everybody? Let's see. Hasan Piker is getting subpoenaed in the States. Let's see what that's all about. Let's go.
In any case, Fed subpoena Hasan Piker, Medea Benjamin over Cuba trips. Investigation part of a broader dragnet involving as many 40 American citizens who joined Marxist convoy to Havana. First on Fox, breaking news. Federal officials have served subpoenas to Marxist political influencer Hasan Piker and co-founder Susan Medea Benjamin as a part of a wider investigation into whether U.S. organizations and leaders violated U.S. laws and sanctions in supporting Cuba's communist regime, Fox News Digital has learned. We will free you, brother. Yeah, free me. Free me. Free me. I can't believe I'm saying.
Yeah, bro. They're gonna free you, bro. They're gonna be your lawyers. Nah, honestly, no joking. Bruh, Hassan, he's done nothing wrong, man. Honestly, what the fuck? He went to Cuba, fucking documented some shit, went out, gave some medicine, pretty much nothing, bro. He did some humanitarian work. It's awesome work, though. But what the fuck is there to investigate? Like, it doesn't make sense. Everything is documented, pretty much.
That, but I'm about to be seemingly made an example of in America's America. I wouldn't even say creep towards fascism. America's galloping towards fascism. But we shall see. Great timing. The timing since the interview yesterday is crazy, though. Yeah, I saw a lot of like weird suspicions that, this is because of Elon Musk. Guys, that's not how this works, okay? The federal government doesn't if the federal government can do things at the mercy of billionaires like Elon Musk could have made a boss call at some point, but getting a subpoena from the federal government, that takes time. It's an administrative warrant, not dissimilar to the ones that ICE uses, so there's technically no real authority backing it from what I understand, but we'll obviously, I haven't gotten anything yet, so I don't know. I don't fucking know anything. What
the fuck? The guy involved in the news don't even know what it's about. What the fuck? So what he's saying right here, he's saying he hasn't got any papers on it, and as long as he don't got any papers on it, it might as well just be bullshit.
But this is a long-term process, so this is not new. If that makes sense, if you think that this was like, this happened because of Elon Musk or something, well, no, that's not the case, right? No, it's not a congressional subpoena. It's from the DOJ and the Treasury. The white boys got you, inshallah. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to get into that right now. We're blasting off. Hope you're lawyered up. Yes, I'll get lawyered up. Don't worry. Trump targets Hasan Piker. Someone wrote a script for you. Yeah, I saw. Hasan is on the stand. Senator Kennedy recounts Dr. Jihad's cussy lesson verbatim. Mr. Piker.
What did he say?
Or do you think?
Dr. Jihad's. God damn, bro. That's sick, bro. Yeah. But it's funny, though. But nah, bro. That's fucked up.
Somebody making these remarks should be conducting humanitarian aid missions. Hasan smirks and lowers his finger. Fa! Rings out in the congressional hall. Acquitted. Yeah. Thank you, Themasius, for the playlist. God forbid a white boy get...
That's funny.
Get a little motion. Get Legal Eagle on your team. Guys, that's not how this works. I need like a fucking... I need a team, most likely of First Amendment, like lawyers that are specifically... lawyers that are experienced in federal court cases, possibly a lawyer for First Amendment related issues as well, and then also one that is adept and knowledgeable on sanctions and the Treasury and OFAC in particular. So it's not like Like no disrespect to Legal Eagle, who is a brilliant lawyer, I assume, but very different type of
Who the fuck is legal? The fuck name is that?
lawyer
It doesn't make sense. Legal. What the fuck, bro?
is necessary in this situation. So do not talk about what's going on before talking to a lawyer. I mean, there's nothing I haven't, guys, I have not had anything happen to me yet. Like, technically, nothing has happened to me. It's just Fox News is saying things are happening to me. So, and it's not like there's anything that I've done. But the unfortunate reality here is you don't really have to do anything for this government to decide that they want to do something with you. Let chat be your lawyer. What is this? You was never Muslim before. You was Shia. That's why you are brainwashed. You was never why you're brainwashed. Socialism led people to be poor. Even capitalism. Democracy is a fairy tale lie. Legal Eagle has a huge team of like 200 plus. He's not just one guy. Yeah, I know. I don't. Anyway, the liberals at the politics sub are defending you. Fed subpoena Hasan Piker, Medea Benjamin over Cuba trips. R/politics defending me is crazy. Meanwhile, Tucker Carlson interviewed Putin and did propaganda for him. Interviewed him in Moscow, Lamau, for going to Cuba. Didn't that Shirley fellow also go there? Why isn't he on that list? Yes, but see, Shirley went there to parrot the talking points provided to him by Trump. Nick Shirley thought he went to Cuba, but he just accidentally locked himself in a Miami airport bathroom for 45 minutes. Cuban Americans who like to make claims about government repression in Cuba are celebrating Trump going after Hasan Piker and others who were part of the convoy that delivered aid to Cubans. If you haven't seen their dishonesty yet, you might want to start paying attention.
Yeah, they're pretty much what they did. The fuck? Honestly, even the embargoes on Cuba, what the fuck, bro? It doesn't make sense. It's just America being fucking what's it called? Imperial state. It doesn't need to be imperial. It doesn't make sense. It's America is a fucking barbaric country, bro. The foreign politics and a home and the politics abroad, it's fucking horrible, bro. Honestly, it seems like a shit ass country, bro.
So let's get started. So I am I'm hit in the face with this text message or this voicemail rather from fucking Fox News producer, and it's a little bit alarming. It's a little bit shocking. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what do you? I'm a little bit confused because I'm like, why does Fox News know about something that apparently is going on in my life that I didn't know about? Right? Eric Garland. If Treasury OFAC bothers to send you a subpoena, it's not your week. I didn't know what OFAC was until season 2 of Friends and Neighbors on Apple. Just to be clear, it's not like you won the lottery. OFAC, yeah, I know what OFAC is. I'm very familiar with what OFAC is. You want to know why I'm very familiar with what OFAC is? Because we fucking filed OFAC clearances before going to Cuba. I've talked about it extensively, as a matter of fact. Our trip had to be OFAC compliant. This is bullshit. But yeah, the very same reason why Fox News got the.
That's too funny, bro. Because I remember when he was in Cuba, he was like in special kinds of hotels. They needed to stay in those hotels who were pre-approved by the government of United States. So yeah, it's just honestly, it sounds like not what's it called? Fox News. It's just clickbaiting Americans, bro. It's if you know anything about, you gotta be a fucking uneducated idiot to fall for that shit. Or at least just be a dumb idiot eating things up like a fucking retard, bro, and being ignorant. Because if you don't need to even see his okay, you need to have seen his videos to know that they did it all a legal way, a legal way with all the rules America put on them for traveling to Cuba and doing what they were doing. So Honestly, Fox News. Honestly, Americans, how the fuck do people even listen to Fox News? It doesn't even make sense. There's no people in America. It's like they don't have any criterias for news channels. It doesn't make sense, bro. Honestly.
Story before anyone else, and the very same reason why the suspicions within the subpoena, according to Fox News, are ridiculous, is because this is very clearly another intimidation tactic from the American government. It is a way to silence dissent. It is a way to silence dissent. It's a way to actively tie up activists, dissidents alike. It's a way to try to have a chilling effect on speech. And some people, it seems, some likely and some unlikely people, have been cheering it on. We'll be talking about that in a second as well. You might need Zoran Magic for this one. Yeah, okay, dude. Yeah. I don't think Zoran Momdani is going to be doing that anytime soon because I'm not a concerning incident that took place in the New York City region of America. You know what I mean? Highly doubt it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I don't know. But anyway, so let's get started with the article, I guess. By the way, I said Fox News, federal officials have served subpoenas to Marxist political influencer Hasan Piker and Code Pink co-founder Susan Medea investigation into whether U.S. organizations and leaders violated U.S. laws and sanctions in supporting Cuba's communist regime. Fox News Digital has learned. Now, very clearly, they leaked this story to Fox News ahead of time because it's an intimidation operation. It's not a serious investigation into serious misconduct or anything. It's just a way to prod and intimidate and tie people up with paperwork in a costly legal battle and basically punish them. It's costly for the government too, by the way, but obviously we are, we're living in a unique, interesting time where the government loves wasting taxpayer dollars, as evidenced by the last thing that Trump did, the $1.776 billion slush fund. The government loves wasting taxpayer dime. In any case, Fed subpoena Hasan Piker, Medea Benjamin over Cuba trips. Investigation part of a broader dragnet involving as many 40 American citizens who joined Marxist convoy to Havana. First on Fox, breaking news. Federal officials have served subpoenas to Marxist political influencer Hasan Piker and co-founder Susan Medea Benjamin as a part of a wider investigation into whether U.S. organizations and leaders violated U.S. laws and sanctions in supporting Cuba's communist regime. Fox News Digital has learned. Piker and Benjamin are among those caught in a federal inquiry into whether activists who traveled to Cuba in March violated U.S. sanctions laws through the financing, coordination, or delivery of goods to Cuba, including potential contacts with the Cuban government personnel or entities on the island. The administrative subpoenas were sent to the pair by the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control. So not only were we OFAC compliant, but I'm also doubly protected because I didn't just go to Cuba on a humanitarian aid trip. I went to Cuba with a journalism visa. So I actually got a press visa from the Cuban government as well. So this is not only an attack against activists and people who want to do humanitarian aid work to countries that the United States of America is starving. But beyond that, I was there to interview people. I interviewed regular Cubans and ordinary Cubans in Cuban society. I interviewed doctors, and I also interviewed government officials. And not only is this not illegal, but it's also out there, It's not a secret. If you go to my YouTube page right.
That's the funny fucking part. It's not a secret. Everybody. That's a little. If you just go in and see his videos, you would notice, honestly. It's just bullshit. That's the thing. In America, everything is just a fucking show, bro. It's not real fucking shit, bro. Everything is fake. The media is fake. Everything, bro. It's just bullshit, honestly.
Now, you can see it. It's actually right here. I went to Cuba. This is what I saw. Mini doc. I pretty much filmed everything that I did there. And I put it into this mini doc. Here I am interviewing the foreign minister. This is not illegal. This is actually very legal. So kind of strange. Also, one of the things that they brought up is really funny. The administrative subpoenas called Requests for Information, or RFI, seek financial, logistical, and communications information revolving around the trips the two widely bragged about making to the island nation in March with the delegations of the Nuestra America Convoy, or Our America Convoy, from a global network of communist sympathizers, activists, and influencers who brought supplies to the country's ruling Communist Party of Cuba, according to the sources familiar with the matter. The investigation is part of a broader effort by officials at the Treasury, State, and Justice Departments to curb malign foreign influence operations inside the United States, particularly activities tied to support for political violence, extremist movements, or acts the U.S. government classifies as terrorism. The scrutiny reflects growing concern among federal authorities and lawmakers over whether foreign actors and aligned organizations are attempting to shape American political discourse, mobilize activists, and sow discord and...
Honestly, how the fuck can they... Honestly, how the fuck can they lie so much? That's just crazy, bro. Honestly, it's crazy. Honestly, the embargo on Cuba, honestly, that shit is illegal. It doesn't make sense. The Cubanian people have the right to rule their own country. Americans cannot rule and tell the Colombians that their companies have some kind of monopoly on their country. That's the thing with American imperialism. They just think everybody's gonna bow down. Nah, bro. But honestly, the Cubanians, they should be free to work and trade with the rest of the world. If America don't want to trade with them, fine. But the rest of the world should be able to do trade with Cuba, because honestly, it doesn't make sense. It's stupid. Bruh, the Cubanian people has not done anything. Just because they refuse to be a fucking slave, they're punished, and they're punished for generations. That's the most disgusting part. That, nah, not even... Don't get me started, bro. America and its imperial... What's it called? I don't know, bro. But... it's not a good thing, bro. People should have the right to rule over their own countries.
Normalize rhetoric that could encourage violence or undermine U.S. national security interests. Ken Klippenstein believes that this is a tie into the NSPM7, the whole counterterrorism initiative that they have. According to the American government, it's actually terrorism to be anti-fascist. It's terrorism to be anti-capitalist. And now I guess it's terrorism to send humanitarian aid, to deliver humanitarian aid to an island nation that we have starved and caused tremendous suffering to. Incredible. So yeah, I mean, what can you say? It's just pure evil, I guess. According to a Fox News digital investigation, Singham has pumped $278 million into nonprofit groups that have pushed pro-China, pro-Cuba, anti-U.S. narratives and street protests from 2017 to Code Pink co-founder Jody Evans, who's also being investigated for her role in the March trip. Code Pink received $1.3 million from Singham after he married Evans. This is Jody Evans, who I took a photo with. They love this photo for some reason. I don't know why. She's one of the co-founders of Code Pink. She's wonderful. And it's like all of this investigation, at least the high notes, make it seem like they just saw stuff on like New York Post and on Twitter and were like, oh, this must be valid. In mid-March, organizations in the Singham Network, from the Venceremos Brigade to People's Forum, a hub for communist cause in New York City, were leaders of the Nuestra American Convoy, which included an estimated 650 delegates from 33 countries and 120 organizations. The organizations included Democratic Socialists of America, a U.S. nonprofit that promotes Piker as a headline member. By the way, that's so funny. The DSA does not promote me as a headline member, but, you know, fuck it. We ball. The investigation of the Office of Foreign Assets Control is part of a broader dragnet that includes as many as 40 American citizens who joined foreign nationals, including a controversial Brazil activist, Thiago Avia, who are part of a global network of anti-U.S. Marxist, communist, and socialist. Additional subpoenas are expected. The administrative subpoenas mark a serious escalation by the Trump administration against a far-left, nonprofit activist network that has spent years defending communist regimes from Cuba to China, while presenting its work as humanitarian aid, anti-war organizing, and solidarity with people oppressed by the imperialist U.S. colonial power. Yeah, because that's what it is. It's literally, it's an anti-war initiative. Code Pink is an anti-war initiative, an anti-war movement that they never actually served the subpoena, and I bet your lawyers. There's more, though. The story gets even dumber. As reported, a Fox News digital investigation has identified 145 U.S. nonprofits and activist groups with $1 billion in collective revenues that Justice and Treasury Department officials are investigating as a part of a wider influence campaign by Cuba's communist regime and foreign actors. First of all, Cuba doesn't even have $1 billion. Like, this is why it's this is why it's insane, but also kind of funny in a weird way whenever people are like, oh, I bet you're getting paid by the Cuban government. Bro, they don't have money. With what money? You think they got money? Are you fucking insane? It's one of those things where I can't tell if people are just like so used to only at advancing causes for monetary reasons, like they just can't possibly fathom the idea that someone would want to genuinely help the Cuban population, genuinely demand that we stop, killing Cubans with our economic terrorism, right? Like what money?
Honestly, that's a good way to say it. Honestly, what America is doing is pretty much economic terrorism. Because the only reason Cuba even have sanctions is only because of America. And all of that shit, communism and all that bullshit, bro, forget about it, bro. We all know what it is. It's all about resources, whose industries have the rights, and that's pretty much it. We don't need to lie to each other, honestly. We grown people, bro. We don't all this illusion, bro. We need to get to a better place, not fucking fool around in the fucking same circle, bro. It's totally retarded, bro. People are not dumb, bro. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Money do they have to give me money? You know what I mean? It's very stupid. Anyway. According to public statements, it's believed that delegation members stayed at a hotel the U.S. State Department has put on a Cuba restricted list. Oh, this is what's really funny. This is not a part of the subpoena, I don't think. This journalist is just adding this on. I haven't received the subpoena yet, so I have no idea. But let me tell you why. Because that's not real. We didn't actually stay at the wrong hotel. That was just something that people made up on Twitter, except for an American citizen who recently did violate OFAC and stayed at a hotel that America does not allow American citizens to stay in. It wasn't me, though. It was Nick Shirley. Literally, the hotel that Nick Shirley was in was actually on the state sponsor of terrorism list. Okay? We obviously didn't stay at a hotel we obviously didn't stay at a fucking hotel that the
Honestly, it's just a fucking propaganda piece.
American government has made illegal we obviously didn't stay at a fucking
It doesn't even make sense, bro. How the fuck can you call yourself a journalist? How can it's not even that. The journalists are not even to blame. It's the fucking people who believe in that shit. They're to blame, honestly. They're the people to blame. The people who believe that shit.
Hotel that the American government has made illegal to stay in for the sick. Usually, mind U.S. Church. If this is the investigation, that's hilarious. This is just like headline chasing. The federal government got clickbaited by.
Honestly, exactly. Pretty much, he said it.
Twitter headlines. Yeah. Federal government targeting people because they mobilize activists, sow discord, and normalize rhetoric, as suggested here, would be a blatant violation of the First Amendment. So, yeah, not only is this this is very clearly a First Amendment violation. And I don't know if this is the one that breaks the dam, where they just like try to figure out trumped up charges to like actively prosecute people who've done nothing wrong, mind you, but they just do this to finally tackle fucking the First Amendment. I don't know. When's the court date? I don't know anything. I don't know anything because I have not received a subpoena. Okay? I need you to understand something. I have not received a subpoena. I don't know. There is no information that I have received. Wasn't most of what you did? Yes, from that sanction. Not only is themselves as collector, and you want to at least thoroughly, primarily through the Cuban asset control regulations, imposes broad restrictions on threatening people. U.S. law imposes broad restrictions on financial transactions involving Cuba, primarily through the Cuban asset control regulations, Administrative Office of Foreign Assets Control. Those rules generally prohibit unlicensed travel-related transactions and exports of goods or services to Cuba, with limited exceptions for journalism, humanitarian projects, and educational programs and certain activities meant to support the Cuban people. Again, did they sneak taking these photos of you? Yes. I talked to some people, and I suspect that they got creep shots of me in the morning as Kaya was.
That's just fucking weird, bro. When you can fucking get pictures, normal pictures, why the fuck would you creep up on the guy and fucking take pictures? It's weird. Honestly, it's weird.
Peeing before I go to the gym. Outside my house, go. Weird. Piker, one of the most anti-American commentary political streamers on Twitch, has built but it is what it is. Piker, one of the most influential political streamers on Twitch, has built a massive online following with a mix of Marxist politics, anti-American commentary, and inflammatory statements that have repeatedly drawn public backlash. On March 10th, Piker posted a photo of himself on Instagram with the message, "I'm going to Cuba." In an Instagram post from the trip, Singham's wife, Evans, smiled widely in Havana, wearing a red and white Palestinian scarf, or keffiyeh, around her neck, while standing beside Piker, who looked seriously into the camera.
Okay, so they're trying to make the keffiyeh symbolize something wrong. Okay.
Live stream this week, Piker said that the Justice Department's indictment of...
Listen, this whole piece is just what's it called in English? A smear piece? When you just smear somebody?
Cuban leader Raul Castro was a sham with no legal standing, designed to create a pretext for escalating U.S. pressure on the island. Piker argued that Trump is acting like a playground bully. By the way, no notes. I cooked on that. Every single thing that I said there is correct. Fox News Digital recently observed Piker outside his Los Angeles home, escorting his dog Kaya outside of the house for a bathroom break early one morning. Kaya, a large breed dog that is a mix of Tibetan Mastiff, Chow Chow, and St. Bernard, has been the beloved subject of an online campaign dubbed Free Kaya over allegations Piker trained Kaya with a shock collar that transmits painful stimuli as a...
This is too funny. Honestly, it's too funny. It's just too funny.
Part of behavioral training. At one moment, Piker silently stood over Kaya, gestured with a finger for her to return to the house after relieving herself. Later, Kaya was observed being walked and driven by a woman leaving Piker's home. This is insane, right? By the way, once again, this proves many different things that I have been saying conclusively, which is that, Kaya goes on walks while I'm streaming.
This is too funny,
and they're doing sinister and active. Gadfly, who stages media spectacles at congressional hearings, defense industry trade conferences, and the homes of government officials, yelling in invectives, chants, and slogans, branding herself as anti-war, but actually running a pattern of messages denouncing the U.S. and uplifting communist and authoritarian regimes of the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Chinese Communist Party and the Communist Party of China, Communist Party of Cuba. Fox News Digital recently observed Benjamin outside her colorful home in Washington, D.C. with her partner and fellow activist, T.Gay Berry, who accompanied her on the trip to Havana. What? Someone also noticed the creep shots disprove that you use a shock collar. Not only does Kaya get numerous walks, but yes, she doesn't have a shock collar. It doesn't even matter, okay? poorly phrased, and for past comments about Representative Dan Crenshaw deserved 9/11, a remark he later said it was poorly phrased, and for past comments about Representative Dan Crenshaw, Navy SEAL veteran who lost an eye in Afghanistan. More recently, critics, including Representative Richie Torres, by the way, shouts out to all the Democrats who are up my ass and have been up my ass, the Israel First Democrats. Thank you. You are giving ample, you're giving to the fascist Piker of amplifying anti-Semitic rhetoric after October 7, while Piker has denied anti-Semitism and said his criticism is aimed at Israel, not Jews. The larger group under scrutiny includes...
Yeah. And that's pretty much easy to understand if you watch his videos. Honestly, it's just a smear campaign filled with lies. So yeah, pretty much just a whole piece. The whole news article is bullshit.
Isra Hersey, the daughter of Representative Ilhan Omar, according to sources, with investigators examining whether Omar may have funded her daughter's travel to Cuba. Omar didn't respond to an early request for comment about her daughter's trip. Piker, Benjamin, Singham, Evans, and Code Pink did not respond to requests for comment. Yeah, it's because you literally fucking sent me a request for comment and then immediately published. Not to say that I would probably give Fox News a comment anyway, but according to sources, the Office of Foreign Assets Control is also investigating Code Pink's DC coordinator, Olivia DiNucci, a former Division I basketball star from Emerson College in Boston. Her unassuming girl-next-door persona often gains her entry into coveted spaces, and then she disrupts with loud theatrics. She joined a convoy led by the Brazilian activist Avila. A lot of this, by the way, does still have a lot as well. What I'm upset about, friend. Mask control can impose civil penalties under a strict liability standard, meaning the government does not have to prove intent. The Justice Department, by contrast, generally must show that a defendant willfully violated the law in a criminal case, often through evidence of concealment, evasion, or knowing participation in prohibited transactions. In a long live stream on Saturday, Piker interviewed another influencer, Ashley St. Clair, about having a baby with billionaire Elon Musk, railed against Trump, defended the communist leaders of Cuba, and Free Associated about other topics in the news, including a shooting outside the White House, decrying the chaos in America. It's fucking terrifying, he said. Good. Our citizens should be fighting for America, not against her. Sometimes I think people forget you're a real person with real things happening to you. Yes.
Honestly, the whole Fox News article, it was just bullshit. Honestly. Smear campaign, nothing else, bullshit.
I read through all the...
Waste of time. Anybody who believes this, you gotta honestly educate yourself. That's all I gotta say. It's just bullshit. He's not gonna get subpoenaed for nothing, bro. He's not even being subpoenaed. He's not got anything. So what the fuck are Fox News talking about?